Hi, I am Dr. K. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to the subject software testing. Today we are going to discuss about the topics effective testing, efficient testing, software risk, risk-based testing, how much testing is enough. Now, throughout our previous sessions, we have used many times these words effective testing and efficient testing. What do you mean by the effective testing and what do you mean by the efficient testing? And the definition of the software risk and how the testing will be based on the risk of the project and how much testing is enough for the project. So these are the topics, and these are the important topics for the interview purpose also. Now, what do you mean by the effective testing? See, if and only if the testing team finds more number of defects, then only it is said to be effective testing. That means the testing team has to find more and more number of faults. So fault is also called as a defect, which is also called as a bug or issue or anomaly. Right? Here fault means defect or bug or issue or anomaly. See, if any testing team has effective testing mean the entire team has to find more number of defects in the project. Then only it is said to be effective testing. And what do you mean by the efficient testing? Finding this more number of defects with the less effort is called efficient testing. It shows the efficiency of testing. You see, this is a definition of efficient testing. See, by putting the less effort, here effort means with respect to time, that is man hours, and by implementing the different documents, that is called efficient testing. Finding more and more number of defects with the less effort is called efficient testing. So when can we say that that particular testing team has done efficient testing means? By putting the less effort, the team has to find more and more number of defects. Then only it is called as efficient testing. That is the difference between effective testing and efficient testing. Right? So these two are the important terms for the interview as well as for our real-time concept. What do you mean by the effective testing and efficient testing? Next. What do you mean by the software risk? What do you mean by the risk in the software? See, here, the software risk is nothing but a factor or entity that could result in future negative consequences, which is usually expressed as impact and the likelihood. Here, what do you mean by the likelihood? The meaning of likelihood is nothing but probability or the chances. Right? So, probability or possibility of getting the negative consequences, the factor which results in future negative consequences is called as a software risk, or the software risk also defined in some other way, like the software risk is a measure of the likelihood of an unsatisfactory outcome affecting the project, process and product. This is called software risk. That means unsatisfactory outcome which affects the project. It may affect the project or it may affect the process of the project, the entire process, because see, during the project we will implement so many processes, so many methods, so many strategies, or so many methodologies that should not be affected, right? Or unsatisfactory outcome affecting the product. If it is a product, so it is called as a product, unsatisfactory outcome affecting the product. This is called software risk. So software risk is defined as, it is a measure of the likelihood of an unsatisfactory, which is not acceptable. Unsatisfactory means which is not acceptable. Unsatisfactory outcome which affects, that unsatisfactory outcome which affects the project, or which shows the impact. See here, which shows the impact on the project, or which shows the impact on the process, and which shows the impact on the product. This is called software risk. So you can use either of this definition. And so here, so used to risk to determine how. So how this risk will be determined? Here, testing team will always be limited. We will have the little time, and we have to test so much on the project. Generally, in the majority of the cases, the testing team will have the limited time to complete the testing on the project. In that scenario, how we have to do the testing? So, use risk to determine what to test first, what to test most, how thoroughly to test each item, and what not to test at least this time. What not to test at least this time, at this time. So you have to determine, right, what to test first, and what to test most, and how thoroughly to test each item, and what not to test at least this time. So allocate the time available for testing by prioritizing the testing. Because why should we allocate the time available for testing based on the priority? Because we will have the little time. As we are having the little time, as we are having not enough time to test the entire project, in this scenario, manager will allocate the time availability by prioritizing the test. How the prioritization will happen? The prioritization will happen based on the requirement. Here, what to test first, that is a priority. What do you mean by the priority? Giving the importance. So which test has to be given first importance? That is priority, first priority. So then we have to complete that what to test first. After completion of this, then if we are having a time, then what to test most, and how thoroughly we have to test each and every item which we are going to test, and what not to test at least this time. This is risk to determine, right? Next, what do you mean with the risk-based testing? So when this risk-based testing will come into picture? If the testing team is having a little time, if the testing team is not having enough time to test the entire project. So these are all the below points which indicates risk-based testing. So during the risk-based testing, the testing team has to concentrate on the below points. Testing team means which includes your test manager, your test lead, senior software test engineers, freshers, right? Either it may be a manual testing or it may be an automation testing. Risk-based testing, we have to follow this, we have to observe these points. See, test where a failure will be most severe. See, that means you have to recap that error fault failure relationship. If one functionality get failures, that will shows the most severity on that particular application. Next, test where failures will be most visible. The next, test where failures are most costly, most likely. So that means you have to identify the areas where we will get more failures, right? And what is the most critical to the customer's business? That means in the entire project, you have to identify the units, you have to identify the components, or you have to identify the requirements, or you have to identify the functionalities which are most critical to the customer's business, for the client business, right? And the areas changed most often. If you take any project, some of the functionalities will change very oftenly. You have to identify those areas which are changing most oftenly. For example, just for your understanding, for your better understanding, I am taking this example. If you take any banking application, say personal loan, or vehicle loan, or educational loan, or agricultural loan, or gold loan, right? Like this, there will be different loans. So if you take this home loan, the interest rate on the home loans will be changing most oftenly, or the interest rates for any loan purpose will be changing most oftenly. You have to identify those such type of areas in the project, and you have to concentrate on those areas in risk-based testing. Areas with most problems in the past, that means if already the project is released in the previous version, we have to identify the areas, we have to identify the modules, or we have to identify the functionalities for which the most of the problems are occurred. That is a thing, that is a meaning. And the most complex areas are technically critical areas. See, some of the functionalities will be more complex. That means so many dependencies will be there, so many calculations will be there. So you have to identify the most complex areas, as well as the team has to identify the more technically critical areas in the project, right? So based on all these points, based on all these criteria, the risk-based testing will be performed. When the risk-based testing will be done? If and only if the testing team is having little amount of time or not enough time to test the entire project, right? Yes. So in interview they may ask you, so what do you mean by the risk-based testing? Or they may ask you, if the testing team is having less time, or if the testing team is having not enough time to test the complete project, how you will proceed to test the project? Then you have to explain about a risk-based testing. So by explaining these points, like test where the failures would be most severe, test where failures would be most visible, test where the failures are most likely, and more critical functionalities to the customer's business, where the areas are changing most oftenly, and areas with the most problems in the past, and the most complex areas and the technically critical areas. So like this, you have to explain about the risk-based testing in the interview, right? How much testing is enough? This is very important. In many of the screening tests which the companies will conduct, definitely you will get the question from this topic. How much testing is enough? See here, how much testing is enough means it depends upon the risk. predominantly the factor how much testing is enough will be decided by the risk of the project, right? That means risk of missing more important faults, risk of incurring failure costs, and the risk of releasing untested or under-tested software, risk of losing credibility and market share, and the risk of over-testing or ineffective testing. Based on these things, how much testing is enough will be decided. See, the risk of missing important faults. If you miss during the system testing, for example, say, during the system testing, if the testing team knowingly or unknowingly misses some important defects, right, then you have to concentrate more. And risk of incurring failure costs, risk of releasing untested or under-tested software. Untested means which is not tested. Under-tested means which is not tested properly, which is not tested enough. That is under-tested. There is a difference between untested and under-tested. So under-tested means the project which has not completed enough testing. That is under-testing. And the risk of losing a credibility and market share. And the risk of over-testing or ineffective testing. Even we should not do the over-testing. And even we should not do the ineffective testing. We have to do the effective testing. So, in your interview or in the screening test, if they ask you how much testing is enough, means the first priority should be risk. The first priority should be risk. So, based on these factors, how much testing is enough will be decided. See, these untested or under-tested or over-testing or ineffective testing is there is a separate topic that is called econometrics of testing that we will discuss in future sessions. Right? How much testing is enough? Yeah, these are the statements. How much testing is enough? It is never enough. When you have done what you planned, when your customer or user is happy, when you have proved that the system works correctly, and it depends on the risk for your system. So, which statement is wrong and which statement is correct? So, all these statements are wrong and it depends on the risk for your system is a correct option, correct statement. How much testing is enough? It is never enough. So, if it is never enough, we cannot complete the testing, right? It is like infinite. And when you have done what you planned, so that is wrong. So here, many students will get confusion. So whatever that planned by the manager or the lead, the testing team has completed the testing, whatever they have planned. Will it give you the guarantee? No. So this is not the criteria for deciding how much testing is enough. When your customer or user is happy, see, many of the customers or users actually, they are not that much of technically strong. They will be having the business knowledge. They will be having more command on the business rather than on the technicalities. So, if your customer is happy, you cannot decide. Whenever your customer is happy or the user is happy, you cannot stop testing. At that point, you cannot stop testing. And when you have proved that the system works correctly, see, the testing will never say the system works correctly. The testing will never say, the testing will never proves the system correct. And it depends on the risk of your system. This is a correct statement, right? So, in the majority of the screening test, maximum cases in the screening test as well as in the interview, you will get the questions on how much testing is enough. It is 100%, right? Yeah. So please subscribe my channel, share my videos to all the student groups who are trying for the job in the industry, IT industry, and like my videos. Please don't forget to post your comments in the comment box, right? Thank you.